Hi, everybody. I'm Trin Johnson, and welcome to Dust in My Eye. The other day, Lindsay Wyrick of the Frugal Crafter put out a post that Shinhan gouache was selling on Amazon for a really good price. And I have a lot of gouache, not as much as I have watercolor, but I was running out of a lot of it. And I thought, well, this might be a fun way to test Shinhan and also maybe get some refill kind of colors or colors I could use in place of the ones that I was running out of, at least temporarily, because the price was so good. And maybe get some new fun colors. Although with gouache, I don't tend to use a lot of colors at one time, but I thought I would give it a try because it was such a good price. So I opted for the B set as opposed to the A set. The A set seemed to be very similar to stuff I already had. And while I did want to do some replacing, I also didn't want just a whole bunch of repeat. So I ordered it. It came right away. I'm going to open her up and do a little swatching. Let's see what we have. I know Lindsay speaks very highly of it. Sarah Burns speaks very highly of it. I thought, what the heck? I like Holbein the best, but I do have Daniel Smith too, and I don't have enough of that to say whether I like it better or not. But I thought it would be fun to try a new one. It just, the price was pretty much hard to beat. Those are all the colors in this one. Yeah, it seemed to me it had things I don't have. So hopefully it's not just redundant. Or if it's redundant in a good way, as in their colors I'm running out of. So there we go. The other thing I liked about this was that for the price, they're full tubes. They aren't like little tiny tubes. Nice little book, looks like, with all the different colors. Wonder if it says whether they're set A or set B. And I wonder if set A and set B cover all their gouache colors. Good questions. I don't know the answers to. But yeah, these are going to be fun. So what I'm going to do is, in my little book, I have that I do gouache in. I have, I'm just painting on one side of these. My little protector sheet. This is paper I got for Christmas. I got this book for Christmas. My son got it in Chile for Christmas. At Christmas time, we were in Chile. And it was a nice little store with handmade stuff. I think what I'm going to do is do it on this page and just lay down a swatch like I did here. These are all the other colors that I have, which would be interesting, I guess, to hold this up against. I mean, they're colors. Let's see if there's anything that jumps out at me. It's easier to spot the ones that I have that are similar than to spot ones that aren't there. Well, we're going to give it a whirl. If I've got a lot of redundant, oh well. But I'm not going to put them on this page because there's not enough room. So I'm going to put them on this page. And I am going to put them on a piece of watercolor paper because I also have this book that I have shown before that I'm all ready to put more pages into, that's full of all my different things I've swatched. And this is kind of at the ready for me to look at next to my table versus this, which lives in my travel gouache kit, my bigger travel gouache kit. And I don't want to have to go in that and dig this out every time I want to see what my gouache colors are. So I want to put it in my big book too. So I'm going to take one of these sheets and I'm also going to swatch it on this because this is going in the big book. And this is just to be in here because I figured that while I had wet paint on my brush, I might as well give it a swatch over here too. So if you saw another video of mine, you saw that I had used these to do some swatch sheets, and I was thinking about doing that again. But there is 24 of them, so I don't want to be here all day doing it. I thought that these hexagons might make a nice swatch sheet. So I'm going to just draw these in loosely. Now there are 24 colors, I believe. Yeah. And there's 5 in each of these rows. I need 4 in each row, so I'm going to do 6 rows of 4 to get 24. So this and this is what I'm trying to center. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only have 5. Let's go back up one. Spreading them apart so much is taking up more space. And that should give me a pretty good idea of what I've got here. We'll just put this guy to the side so I can drop in the color over here and the color over here. Now I also have my Etcher gouache paintbrushes, so I'm going to pick out one of those that will make quick work of this without being too big. I think I'm going to do that, but if I think I might want an angle brush, I'll have that one out too. Now, where should we start? I guess we'll start here. Quinacridone red. Question is, can I get it right out of the top of the tube? That would be the easiest. It is very nice. I have to say, I don't paint with gouache directly out of the tube very often, as in almost never. But wow, either this is really nice or I'm just not used to having it be fresh out of the tube, or a little bit of both, which is probably true. There, and let me just do, let's see, I need 6 rows over here too, so I think that'll work. So I think I'll write down the names afterwards. This orange is a little bit juicier, and so I have to be kind of careful because some binder came to the top. Red was just perfect. This one is cadmium red. It's very orange. Permanent yellow deep. Naples yellow. This color I definitely do not have. A soft, like soft yellow ochre kind of color. Joan Brilliant, that's what I thought this was. And I do have a Joan Brilliant, but I am not sure. Looks like it's very similar to the color I have. I can tell if I look over here. Yeah, see, I do have Joan Brilliant. I have a Cad-free red, which is definitely not the same as that. That looks closer to Brilliant Orange, but kind of in between the two. Interesting. Okay. I will try to hold off on those comparisons. Sap green? Moss green. I think the reason I picked these colors is they were colors that were just more appealing to me than the A set, which is probably why I have some of them, because they're the colors that appeal to me more. And most of my gouache I picked out. I did not buy by set. I have a set of primary mixing colors that I think are Holbein. But other than that, I just picked them out individually. Tervert. This might not be the best representation of these colors. Like this one's kind of smeary looking because I'm not squeezing them onto a surface. If I was doing that, I might get a smoother swatch than I'm getting right now. Permanent green deep. Yeah, see, this one is very splotchy right now. There we go. Blue green. Turquoise green. Cobalt green pale. Lots of greens, blue greens in this set. And let's see what this last green is. Oh, it looks like a sagey green. Shadow green pale. Don't have that. At least I don't think I have anything like that. It's kind of a slate green. Halfway done. Let's set that water aside and get a clean one here. The next part. And we have peacock blue. This one is not going on as smooth. Cobalt blue. Ultramarine deep. Ultramarine deep. Ultramarine deep. Never thought of that as being a tongue twister, but I sure twisted it. Okay, indigo. Indigo is one of my absolute favorite colors, especially in watercolor. When it comes out of the tube really smooth, it's really easy to do these. 8 more. Hydrangea blue. Kind of periwinkle. Lavender, but darker, deeper. I like a good periwinkle blue. Fair amount of blues in this set. Not a lot of red, which is okay. I'm not a big red fan. Lilac? Pretty much. My lilac bushes don't look so good this year. There was some ice at one point that did them some damage. Luckily, we did not get the same ice storm that northern lower Michigan got. They are still recovering. Cobalt violet hue. Yeah, see, this one's sticky. That one went on really smooth, and this one is sticky. Magenta. I do have a magenta. I'm not sure if it was in that primary mixing palette. I don't think so. I think those colors were named primary this and primary that. This one's a little bit creamy and a little bit, it's not sticky, it's just thinner. You can tell by it's kind of streaky. But it isn't sticky like the one before. And that might be a binder issue, that there was binder at the top. I'm not really sure. Oh, I forgot to do that one. Always. There's always something I don't quite do like I wanted to. I was so quick to move on. Pink. It's pink. Raw sienna. Two more. Raw umber. Oh, this is a very yellow raw umber compared to other ones I've had. At least in watercolor for sure. Wow, if I had to guess, I think I would have had those flipped, but I mean, that really is a raw sienna. It's just that raw umber does not look. Oh, almost forgot. That one probably bled through. No. Okay, one more sepia. And I like a good sepia too. Ah, this one's same thing, a little see-through-y. That's a little better. And that just might be that I'm not putting them out on a tray and smushing them around straight out of the tube. But I knew I wasn't going to have time to paint anything with them right now, and I didn't want it to go to waste. Okay. It's a nice selection of colors. Let me see. The nice thing about having this is I can flip this page carefully so I don't put that plastic in there and see what I have. Well, I have Schwan Brilliant right there and there, and those look pretty similar, as it is bright on this paper. Actually, I think this one's a little darker. Olive green is very similar to that one, which is moss green. Now I have moss green too. That's that, but that seems a different color. I don't have, what was the next one? I've got to write these down. Terravert. I thought that was Terravert. I don't think I have anything like that. I don't really have anything like that. I'm going to write their names down so that, at least on here, so we can talk about them with words. So I'm going to speed this up and just get their names put in. Okay. This will be a little easier now. Okay, turquoise green, that's similar. Cobalt green, emerald is kind of in between these two. So that's not quite something I have. Cobalt blue, similar. That looks pretty much the same. Ultramarine blue deep, not really have that. Indigo, I'm sure I have indigo. But it's a much more purple indigo. It's Winsor & Newton. Peacock blue. It's kind of like primary cyan. There is primary magenta. I thought that it was one of those colors that was in the set. I was right. King's Royal Blue, Daniel Smith, is very much like this hydrangea color. I don't have anything like lilac. I don't have anything like cobalt violet. Magenta is different than that primary magenta. Pink is different than brilliant pink and different than rose, so that's different. Raw sienna is very similar to yellow ochre, as is raw umber similar to yellow ochre. And sepia, I think I have sepia. Yeah, sepia is sepia, pretty much the same. So there are some new ones, and there are some good replacement ones, especially things that I knew I had, so I knew I had bought them specifically. So it's probably something that will be nice to have a backup for. And a lot of them painted really nicely. Some of them gave me trouble going down on the paper, probably because I didn't put them out on a tray first. But some are just inherently different. The cobalt violet hue was sticky, which I didn't particularly enjoy painting with. But the rest of them, most of them went down very smoothly, and I did enjoy it. So I'm going to write the names in that book and put that back where it belongs and add this to my collection. And this was fun. I like them. And I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, you could give me a thumbs up. That would be wonderful. Also, if you would like to make a comment, I would be interested in knowing if you purchased one of the two sets and if you have one you like better than the other. As in, should I get the A set? I was trying not to get both. But if you think I should, let me know in the comments. Anyway. And if you would like to, please check out my Etsy shop, where I have prints of my artwork along with cute little monsters and other fun stuff for sale.